Let me see. Can it fuse? Shalom. Let's see. Shalom, shalom, family. Happy Sunday morning. Well, praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Once again, we are back with HOI Bible reading session. So today we're going to touch on Genesis chapter 10, 11, and 12 for Book of Law. Joshua chapter 7 and 8 for Book of History, and Proverbs chapter 7 and 8 for Book of Wisdom. All right, so let's get into it. So first off, let's get the two precepts. We'll go with Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Just so we can start with reading our Bible. So chapter 34 and verse 16. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and its spirit it hath gathered them. All right. So I want to start off with that. Seek out of the book of the law, which is the Bible, and read. And let's get one more. Let's get Revelations chapter 1 and verse 3. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of his prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. All right. So blessed are you when you're reading your Bible, your scriptures, right? And taking heed to the prophecies that we're living in right now, which is the last days. And let me get one more, 3 times the charm. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And we're going to need a lot of hope in these times right now. So Revelations 1 and 3. Isaiah 34 and 16. And Romans 15 and 4. So we always gonna start with those three first before we get into the reading. So Isaiah 34 and 16, Romans 15 and 4, and Revelations 1 and 3. All right. So let's get it. We left off at Genesis chapter 9. Now we're starting at Genesis chapter 10. And a quick recap. Genesis chapter 9 was speaking about the Lord blessing Noah and his children and his wife as well too, and having a covenant between them and all the creatures of the earth that he wouldn't flood the earth. Right? Genesis chapter 10 is going to speak about the generations of Noah, Ham, and Shem. Right? Japheth as well, but their generations and their lineage. So let's get it. Let's get Genesis chapter 10 and verse 1. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them was sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rephath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Chittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. Now these are the sons of Ham. So we just read about the sons of Japheth. These are the sons of Ham now. And it's verse 6. The sons of Ham are Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabtika. And the sons of Ramah are Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. Right, Nimrod is wicked as hell. Shalom, love. All right. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Asher, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah. The same is a great city. And Mizraim begot Ludum, and Anamim, and Lahabim, and Naptuhim, and Paphrusim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistine, and Catharim. And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, in Heth, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites, and the Gergesites, and the Hivites, and the Archites, and the Sinites, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad, and the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as thou comest to Gerar unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, let me read this one more. Verse 19, and the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as thou comest to Gerar unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zeboim, even unto Lashar. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. All right. Okay. So now these are the sons of Shem. Verse 21. Unto Shem also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him with children born. The children of Shem are Elam and Asher and Arphaxad, and Lud and Aram. And the children of Aram are Uz and Hul and Gethar and Mash. And Arphaxad begot Salah, and Salah begot Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, and for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begot Almadad, and Shilaf, and Hazar Maveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Ozal, and Dekla, and Obal, and Abimiel, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Jotam. And their dwelling was from Mishah, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. All right, so these are the nations divided, all from the sons of Noah, which is Ham, Shem, and Japheth. All right. So this is Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. This is speaking about the Tower of Babel. All right. So remember in verse 20, in verse 31, the Lord said these are the sons, basically the sons of Noah. Everybody had their own language, their own customs, their own lands, right? Now this wicked demon, Nimrod. Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. Talking about one language in the world, right? The whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stones, and slime they had for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. All right, so now this is the Lord confusion of languages. All right, verse 5. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So that was speaking about the Tower of Babel. Right? Speaking about the Tower of Babel with Nimrod, the wicked demon. The Tower of Babel. Try to go against the Lord. And fight against the Lord. All right. All right. So that is the generation of Shem all the way to Abraham. Verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begot Arphaxad 500 years and begot sons and daughters. Let me see. And he begot sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begot Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begot Salah 403 years. And he begot sons and daughters. And he begot sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begot Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begot Salah 403 years and begot sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber. And Salah lived after he begot Eber 403 years and begot sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begot Peleg. And Eber lived after he begot Peleg 430 years and begot sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begot Reuel. And Peleg lived after he begot Reuel 209 years and begot sons and daughters. And Reuel lived 230 years and begot Serug. And Reuel lived after he begot Serug 207 years and begot sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor. And Serug lived after he begot Nahor 200 years and begot sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and begot Terah. And Nahor lived after he begot Terah 119 years and begot sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran begot Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, And the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Ishkah. But Sarai was barren; she had no child. And Terah took Abram his wife, his son, Slaki. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Okay. Let me see. And Terah died in Haran. Shalom. Okay, so I'm able to read both sides. All right, that's good. And Terah died in Haran. Right? So this is showing you the Bible and the lineage of the families. And like I said, the Bible is also a book of history. Right? And it show you from the years, how old this person was, children that they had after, the name of their sons, from generations to generations. Right? So Sarai, which is Sarah, which was barren, right? And then Abram, which was Abraham, was in the land of Chaldees, and then moved into the land of Canaan. The Lord said to do that. So now let's get to Genesis chapter 12. This is where God calls Abraham and blessed him with a promise of a miracle child. All right. Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1. Now Yahweh has said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house and unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation. I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Verse 4. Abram departs with Lot from Haran. And so Abram departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him. All right. Let me find something real quick. Just give you Abram means. All right. So just wanted to give y'all the name Abram, which is Abraham, but Abram first, it means exalted father. All right, just want to give you out the meaning of the names. It means exalted father. That's what Abram means. Verse 2, and I will make of thee a great nation. I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Right, so there's now Abram leaving with Lot. So verse 4, so Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. All right. So Abram was 75 years old. Let's see. And Lot. So Lot name means veil, like a veil. So Abram name means exalted father, and Lot name means like a veil. All right. And Lot went with him, and Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife. And Sarai means princess. So that's crazy. So once again, Abram name means high exalted father. Lot means veil. And Sarai, which is of Sarah, which will come after, means a princess. All right. So the way Sarah was moving, standing with her husband, princess, a daughter of Zion, literally, which is beautiful. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. Right? So this is Abram journey into Canaan. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shittim, unto the plain of Moriah. And the Canaanite was then in that land. And Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. Right, so he's going to give the land unto Abraham. Unto thy seed will I give this land. Would I give this land there? Builded he an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and high on the east. And there he builded an altar unto Yahweh, and called upon the name of Yahweh. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. All right, so now this is Abraham moving into Egypt because of a famine. And it's funny, same as what do you call it? Same as sons of Jacob, right? They had to go into Egypt because of that famine that they had, right? And they had to get help from Joseph. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in his land, right? That's the land of Canaan. So it's the same exact thing. Right? You read the Bible again, you'll just see it again. Same exact thing. And it came to pass when he was come near unto to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon, which means beautiful. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me. But they will save thee alive. Right? Same thing like they try to do with I think it was Judith. Was it Judith or? But they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake. And my soul shall live because of thee. Okay. Right? So this Sarai taken by the Pharaoh. Verse 14, and it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair. Right? Very beautiful. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abram well for his sake, for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen, and he had asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels, right? So it's talking about like the donkeys. And Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with a great plague because of Sarai, Abram's wife, right? So it's funny, man. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou she is my sister? So I might have taken her to my wife, to be my wife. Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had. Right? So even the damn Egyptians, the Pharaoh, respected that was Abraham's wife. Right? And the reason why Abram said that they would kill him, because even that's the law. You can't marry somebody else's wife if the husband is still alive. Right? So even the Pharaoh has some damn sense. Like, hey, that's a man's wife. All right, let it go. You know, I don't want nothing to do with her. All right? But today, forget it, man. All right, let's get Genesis chapter 13 and verse 1. All right, so the Pharaoh let go of Abram and his wife Sarai. And it was funny, all the riches that he gave them already, the money, the foods, the sheep, all of that stuff, Abram was still able to keep that. Right? What I mean by that? Verse 15 again. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commanded her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he had treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen, and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And the Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou, she is my sister, so I might have taken her to me to wife? Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. And the Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent them away and his wife and all that he had, right? So the Pharaoh sent Abram away, right? But guess what? All the stuff that the Pharaoh gave unto Abram, which is Abraham, he still was able to keep. So it's like if you let's say you got a rib, right? Let's say you got a wife, and you got to tell her that let's just tell that brother that me and you were brothers and sisters, right? And that he pay a dowry of $3 million, right? Thinking that he's gonna get. Come to find out that that's your wife. So now he's like, God damn. And the Lord is plaguing him in the dreams and he's getting nightmares. And the Lord is threatening him, I'm about to kill you if you don't let this man's wife go. So long story short, what happens? He's scared to death. So he's like, look, just leave, just go. Just take whatever you want, man. I don't want to die, right? Now that $3 million that he gave you for that dowry, he don't even want that back. He's just keep it. Just go. Right? So what happened to Abram? He ended up becoming rich even from that. And got Sarai back, and he's going to become even more rich. Right? Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. Abram and Lot returned out of Egypt and agreed to separate. Yeah, this one's crazy. All right. So Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel. All right. Yeah, so we'll hold off on Genesis 13. We read 3 from Genesis, 10, 11, and 12. We'll get back to that tomorrow, mañana. As they say, la próxima mañana. Semana, la próxima semana. That's next week. So now let's go to Joshua, book of history, as you would call it. It's the book of Joshua, chapter 6. I think we read 6 of it. Yeah, we read 6. So now we're at Joshua chapter 7. We're going to read 7 and 8. And then we're going to read Proverbs 7 and 8. Right? So last we left off in Joshua chapter 6, where the Lord gave Joshua the order to go into Jericho and to destroy it. Right? And they have the priests walk around 7 times throughout the city. The ram's horn on the 7th day to blow the trumpet. Right? To bring down the walls. So the Lord told them in Joshua chapter 6, don't take nothing in the city. Right? Everything is defiled. And he's going to destroy everything. But just the silver and the gold to bring back to the Lord as a sacrifice. Right? Back to the temples and everything. So the Lord gave the rules. Don't take nothing in the city. Right? Everything is defiled. Don't save nobody. Wipe out everything. All right, let's get it. This is This is Joshua chapter 7 and verse 1. So once again, we're doing 7 chapters a day. 3 from Book of the Law, which is Genesis. We'll start with 2 from history, which will go with Joshua first, and then 2 from wisdom, which is Proverbs. We'll go with Proverbs. All right. As we continue to increase more and more. So this is Joshua chapter 7, verse 8. So this is the Israelites being defeated in Ai, right? Or I, right? Let's see why. But the children of Israel committed a trespass and a cursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, All right, and let's look up the name. Let's look up Joshua. So Joshua means God is salvation. All right, salvation. And now let's look up Akan. We gotta look up Akan. Look at this dude. So the name Akan means trouble. That's what the name Akan means. And boy, oh boy, did he live up to his name. Joshua chapter 7, verse 8. But the children of Israel committed a trespass and a cursed thing. For Akan, which name means trouble, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai. And make not all the people to labor thither. And they are but few. Right? So they think they outnumber the Hebrews. Right? So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men. For they chased them from before the gate even unto Shibarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. So now this is Joshua complaining. Right? So Israel lost this battle. And let's see why. Why did Israel lose this? Let's see if I get the Genesis. Seems I can make Josh. Yeah, 7. Okay. And the men of verse 5, and the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men. For they chased them from before the gate even unto Shibarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord unto the eventide, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan, to deliver us unto the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan? O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us round and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? All right. So Joshua must deal with sin in the camp. All right. So watch this. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. So basically, somebody stole the accursed things that the Lord said do not take, do not touch. And somebody took it. And then put it within the items, within the camp. Which Yahweh Shem Shah said do not do. So now we're going to find out what's going on. We're about to find out. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed, neither will I be with you anymore, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies, until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which the Lord shall take come by households, and the household which Yahweh shall take shall come man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of Yahweh, and because he hath wrought folly in Israel. Okay. Now this is the sin of this specific man. You'll find out. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. Let's see. The son of Judah was taken. Carmi, my vineyard, and the son of Judah was taken. Verse 19. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done, hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them. Thou shalt not covet, right? And took them, right? Thou shalt not steal. And behold, they are hid in the earth, in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So he's hiding it. So Joshua sent messengers. And they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. Damn true. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before Yahweh. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And they brought them into the valley of Achor. Let's see. 24. So it says they brought them unto the valley. Let's see. Okay. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor, which Achor means trouble as well. Yeah, Achor means troubled. Brought them into the valley of Achor. Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. right? And that's funny. That's Achan's name, trouble. And all Israel stoned him with stones and burned him with fire after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day. Achor means trouble, all right? So that's what Achan did. So he literally lived by his name, lived up to his name. Achan, which means trouble. Achor means trouble, boy. All right? So now Joshua chapter 8 and verse 1. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai, and his people and his city and his land. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee an ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua arose, and all the people of war, to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 mighty men of valor, and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city. All right. Ye shall lie in wait against the city. All right. Here we go. And he commanded them, saying, behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. And I, and all the people that are with me, will approach unto the city. And it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them, for they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, they flee before us, as at the first. Therefore we will flee before them. Then he shall rise up from the ambush, and seize upon the city, for Yahweh your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire. According to the commandment of Yahweh shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and numbered the people, and went up, he and the elders of Israel, before the people to Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai. And he took about 5,000 men, and set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liars, in wait on the west of the city. And Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early. And the men of the city went out against Israel to battle. And he and all his people at the time appointed before the plain. But he wist not that there were liars in the ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went now out after Israel. And they left the city open, and pursued after Israel. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thy hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place. And they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered into the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw and beheld the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven. And they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. So they basically trapped them, all right, or flanked them, right? They did a military tactic. They drew them away, used them as bait, drew them away, got them out of the city, and had the people that was in ambushing come into the city with the people, and then the rest came in and finished them off. So they basically trapped them. All right. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Israel, and some on this side and some on that side. And they smote them. And so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness, wherein they chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai and smote it with the edge of the sword. Damn. And so it was that all that fell that day, both of men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. Right? So they slew the men and the women. These nations, man. And it's coming again. For Joshua drew not his hand back, wherewith he stretched out the spear until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of that city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according unto the word of the Lord, which he commanded Joshua. And Joshua burnt Ai and made it an heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. Damn. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree. Woo! Yo, Joshua's getting down, man. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until evening tide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree and cast it at the entering of the gate of the city, and raised thereon a great heap of stones that remaineth unto this day. Jeez. Yeah, Joshua was not messing around, boy. It's good to read these again. All right, verse 30. Then Joshua built an altar unto Yahweh, God of Israel, in Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man have lifted up any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto Yahweh, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote thereupon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side the ark, on that side before the priests of the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, as well as the strangers, as he that was born among them. Half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal. As Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law. And there was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversing among them. They basically read all the laws, 613 laws, as you would call it. All right, so they read all the laws to the people, the blessings and the curses, like in good one, Deuteronomy 28. From 1 to 14 is the blessings, and 15 on down to 68 is the curses. It's a good example. They got the one in Leviticus 26 as well. All right, so 3 in Genesis, talked about with Nimrod building the Tower of Babel, Noah and his sons populating the earth, all the way down to Abraham, from the land of Chaldees, going into the land of Canaan, and then from there is a famine, and then he went into Egypt, right? And he got riches from the Pharaoh, and then now went into Joshua, infiltrating Jericho. Achan stole the items that the Lord said not to steal. So now the Lord had to destroy Achan and his whole family. And then now from there, the Lord told Joshua to go into Jericho and destroy it, and Ai to destroy it, and destroy the kings and all the people. And then he ended off with reading the laws to the people, blessings and the curses. So now we're going to end it off with two more, which is Proverbs. I ain't going back and forth with you. Chapter 7 and verse 8. This is a good one. So this is Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 1. We're going to start at Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 1. Once again, shalom, shalom, family. Easy like a Sunday morning. Proverbs chapter 7 verse 1. My son, keep my words. And this chapter is about avoiding adultery. Right? My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eyes. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my mouth, for at the window of my house, I looked through my casements, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths, a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the entire of a harlot, a subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abideth not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face. I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love unto the morning. Let us solace ourselves with love. For the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. He goeth after her straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter, and as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. And attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Right? Avoid adultery. Avoid that promiscuous woman. Right? So this is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 1. Doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of the high places. By the way, in the places of the paths, she crieth at the gates. At the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and the wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice of gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared. Let's see, sure. Not to be compared to it. Wisdom's authority. I, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, and pride and arrogance and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me, kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me, princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Verse 22. Wisdom as a creator. Right? Yahweh possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with waters. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of this earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Okay, let's see. With the sons of men. Verse 32. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of Yahweh. This is one of my favorites. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. God. Man shall a righteous man stand in great boldness. For the face of such as have afflicted thee. He that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. Living life a bit of stress. That's why you got to get the breath. Trying to call a timeout in this battle of war, and now you calling for the ref. But all praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. So, all they that hate me love death. Living life in time. Take it day by day. Catch your breath. No stress. Staying in bless. So all praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. First three books that we read was Genesis chapter 10, 11, and 12. And then we went into, that was book of law. Book of history, which was Joshua chapter 7 and 8 for history. And Proverbs chapter 7 and 8. All right. Chapter 7 about avoiding adultery. And chapter 8 about wisdom pertaining to Proverbs. So praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. Be back again tomorrow. Mañana. As they would say, la próxima mañana. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. So I'll praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, have a great new moon. Which you'll be having tonight. Shar Kadash Shirak. Happy new moon tonight. With that, Kwam Yashala. Khan. Form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.